Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Good evening. Good to see you, Python. I'm glad you're managing work. Second monitor, I hope. Use me a bit of ASMR. And lovely to see you, Lee. How are you, Bit Gamey? You well, sir? I see you've not managed to redeem, resist the Redeemus to use Dear Irish John. Steal one of his phrases straight off the bat. Hope everyone's all right. I've got some stuff to do that I'm not really comfortable with doing this evening, but I'm going to do it on stream. It'll be a laugh. A whole bunch of things. I've got a few bugs that I can fix. One of them's quite hilarious. But first, I think I'm going to attack the thing I probably shouldn't attack on stream, which is a bit of animation, which I'm not massively comfortable with, and then a little bit of reorganizing, and I'm still getting these VFX manager bugs, which I'm sure aren't me. Oh, hello. It's all a bit quick on the mouse there. That's because I was testing some changes in mouse sensitivity. There we go. God, that's better. That's more like it. It's more sedate. That's probably a bit too sedate. I'm glad this still works. Because I fixed it a few days ago, a bit more than that. There we go. That was a bit of feedback I got from playtesting, that the mouse was too sluggish, even on the highest. Lee says, I'm just here for the redemptions. I thought, I knew that about you. Wouldn't it be nice if life had better redemptions? Like, if you could pay some money and then, you were directly put into a 1 minute ad. I'm terribly sorry, Python. I'm honestly not used to this. I've not really started. I shall try. I've got a bot now. Let's see if this works. I actually have a bot for the Twitch side. Sadly, YouTube doesn't do those sorts of things. But if I do Discord, there we go. It's good, isn't it? It's the simple things. It's a start. I'm using Streamer Bot, I think it's called. And I'm pretty sure it was you that suggested I use it, Bit Gamey, actually. I stole that idea from you. But yeah, so this evening, I've got some stuff that needs doing. And the first thing is I've got to make drinking tea more useful. Yay indeed, Lee. Well, thank you for all your assistance. And being an inspiration as well. So one of the issues that I have is that, let's get the tea boiler boiling. Is that enough steam? That's probably not enough steam. Because this is a thing I changed on my last stream. I've done a couple of things between streams. Nothing enormous though. And mostly because I wasn't able to stream because the house was complete chaos. No, that's not quite full up. I've got to adjust these. It must be more obvious when they're full up. It's not quite right. I can do that though. That's not a disaster. Let's put the boilers up. Let's give it a bit more steam. Right, now it's boiling. You can tell because there's steam coming out of it. So when this gets to 5 minutes, because this is in minutes, when it gets to 5 minutes, you can come over here and you can click a button to drink tea. Right. You can drink tea. Isn't that lovely? It's what everyone wants in their life. They want tea. But the problem is that nothing happens really. It just goes, all right then, and then resets. There's no majesty to it. There's no joy. There's no zing, zip. It just resets. And my primary tester, who lives just a few rooms away, makes it sound like I'm in the West Wing, is where I keep my children. He pointed out quite reasonably that it was underwhelming in the extreme. So we're going to see about fixing that. Python, absolutely every game needs to have tea drinking. I will expect to see it in yours when you share it on the Discord. The tea drinking mechanics, sir. Absolutely. Hey, have a game without them. But anyway, this is going to keep going. But the problem is that testing this is kind of hard because there's no way for me to hit a button to say, now you're your brood. So I've got to put a button in first. That's really the first thing to do. So I can then test my teacup. I do actually have a bit of a teacup. Is this easy to see? I started. I'm not sure I love it, but it's all right. So if I come into the player and I go to the camera, right hand tool, and then I can show the teacup, boop, and then the spanner would disappear. So this kind of thing will happen. Obviously you wouldn't be drinking a pipe. That would hurt. Zach, lovely to see you. I see. I'm glad that you are making best use of my best face. But yeah, so this is actually a teacup. Difficult to see, but I need to kind of animate this whole tool a little bit. So all of these pipes will hide. Then you can get the teacup out, and then this pot will lift up, pour into the teacup, and then you can pour it in your face. That is the idea. But first of all, I need a debug button, because if I wanted to wait 5 minutes every time I test this, it would drive me bonkers. I don't know whether I need this powered for it to work after it's brewed up. If you were to switch it off because you need to do other things, it should remember where you're at. Yeah, it carries on. So you can't unbrew a tea. I played with that idea and I decided it was a terrible one. Frankly, it would just upset people. I'm not against upsetting people. Such a beautiful face, Zach. Yeah, absolutely. One only my mother could love. All pipe points as well. Yeah, although I'll be honest, I've not really played with them much. I need to do more. I've got my bot that can do 2 commands over on Twitch, which is nice. So I've got my, why don't you drop us a wish list? There we go. So I could do that. I could do Discord, but it's very early days. I'm taking inspiration from my peer group, who have been very, very helpful. Right, so this is incredibly underwhelming. This is not so bad, because the idea is you leave this running and you're driving around and you're doing your stuff, and then you give yourself a cup of tea as a reward. The game doesn't force you to have the tea as a reward, it's just something that you ought to have, because I've put all this effort into making it. I mean, just to link it up, you must have gone to a fair amount of effort just to get the pipes in there. And then it needs an enormous amount of steam, which means running the boilers quite hot. It could probably do with even more steam, actually, because I think it's quite funny. But when this gets up to 5 minutes, there is no interesting animation. Ah, Skeffles! How the devil are you, Lewis? You doing all right, mate? It's Monday night. What else would you be doing except living the party lifestyle I know that you do? So this is coming up. The brewing is coming up to 5 minutes now. I mean, it's at fever pitch, and I'll just show you how completely underwhelming this is. Ooh, you're watching on mobile. Couldn't find the chat button. Oh right. Well, that's very nice of you to join us. Right, here we go. So we go. That's it. So that's now brewed. Okay, the steam hasn't changed. The brewing needle's gone back to 0, which is fair enough, and it's gonna. But there's a tooltip down in the bottom left-hand corner. You can just about see, and then I've just pressed E, and that's it. And it starts brewing again. That's it. All that effort. All that effort. You know, #1 playtester was quite right to point out that that's underwhelming. I think that's it. So we're trying to at least have a little bit of whelm. Can't have too much whelm, because then you get overwhelmed. But we want more whelm than we have at the moment, because it is quite underwhelming. Just come back from climbing. My friends got me into that recently. Now, Skeffles, is that one of those kind of you belay yourself kind of things, where you're attached to a sort of a clutch gravity brake in the ceiling, and you can go clambering off up a wall, and if you throw yourself off it, then it just brings you down nice and gently. I do fancy that. Python news that this is peak game design. But you can see why. I think you can all see why that was a terrible. That was just completely underwhelming. So what we're going to do first is get a button in. We need a button. We need a button for the tea boiler. It only needs to be on here. It doesn't need to be accessible from anywhere else. It doesn't need to be on a debug window. So just in there is fine. I don't think I have an editor script for this yet, so let's have a quick shifty and see what editor scripts we've got. Is this easier to find in here? Probably. Infrastructure. Always know be in the editor folder because Unity demands we put things in certain places. Editors. What editors we got? Do we have? We don't have a tea boiler one. That is disgraceful. What are we going to call it? We're going to call it tea boiler editor because it's simple. No, no ropes. It's not too high. Oh, okay. So is that also known as bouldering? I'm sorry. I really, my ignorance on climbing is high. So apologies for the ignorance. How did you find it? Is it something you feel you're going to do a lot of? Don't worry. I'm sure your friend won't be watching. Yes, bouldering. Yeah. Yeah, that also looks like good fun. Right, editor is used as a namespace, but used like a type. Oh, here we go. Is that because it's is a type? Well, it's not a namespace. Oh, here we go. So this is Unity being helpful. We can't have it in that namespace because that namespace will give us a type collision. Fine. I'm going to make this slightly larger for those people watching from the back in the cheap seats. You know who you are? Just saying. So, what is this? Why is that so bright? Oh, it's just the way the light's shining on there. Fair enough. Okay, so in the tea boiler editor, what we're gonna do is, the best way of doing this is looking at one of the other editors and then stealing the code out of it, because I can't remember how to. So what would be a good one? For Quest Factory, does that just have a button? That has nothing in it. Oh, okay, fair enough. Tea boiler, weld editor, well that would be a complicated one. Boiler editor, that's a good one. Yeah, let's just pop that in there, and it's of type tea boiler. And then there's an on GUI nonsense. I remember this. We got a target. I remember. I don't write these very often. And, you know, given I've been doing this 5 years, that last one you looked at is probably like 4.5 years old. Ah, Titan, good to see you. Python says, by the way, did you fix the shader variant issue? Oh, yes. I think I did. But I'm not entirely sure what I did. I think what I did was exactly whatever the casual Dutchman, Dear Peter, told me to do. That's what I did. And I haven't had a problem yet. But then I've not tested many builds yet, so there's a caveat to that. So Skepful said, no, like I said, it's not very high, but that's good. If you bouldered with no rope outdoors, that would be though, yes. Fair enough. Okay, so T-boy. I love the idea of bouldering though. Tempted to give it a go. They do father-child type things. That could be quite funny, especially with a small one. Like the idea of turning her into a ninja. The poor world. Okay, this can't be a modern. There is. It needs to be. It needs to be a type editor, obviously. Now, that's not a boiler. That's a tea boiler. And I don't think there will be. So tea boiler must have something on it to set the progress that we can just say no. So that's the time to brew. That's the dial that is progress. So what we want to do is we want to put it. So there we go. I'm doing it on update. I'm not a massive fan of doing stuff like this on update, but it's okay. So kettle state brewed and is on current time. Current time is the one that we want to mess with, but I don't want to make that public. That would be naughty. I want to hide that in there, and I only really want this to be used. I want to force its hand. So I think we need a new public. We're going to say, what are we going to call this? We're going to call it debug so that I don't accidentally call it from something else. And I want to set time to finished. And what that will do is it will set the current time to brew sixth to time to brew sixth. That should do that. That will be fine. And then this has to, that's the method that is going to, not in that one, no, in this one, it's going to get called in there. And it's not called boiler, it's called T-boiler. Lovely, and that should be right. I feel like I would find a way to make it dangerous. Oh, good man, Lord Pizza. Good man. Maybe climbing while eating a pizza? Maybe climbing an enormous pizza. A pizza large enough to warrant climbing. Yeah, take your kids, have easier ones for them to do. Yes, there's a place walkable from my house, Skeffels. I'm quite close to the centre of Reading, or as we like to call Ding. That sounds like I'm doxing myself. I did that in the 90s. It's not really doxing myself. Yeah, so we'd definitely take them along, I think. I suddenly want some tea for mysterious reasons. Good. Tea and pizza go really well. Not tea on pizza. Don't go there. It's not a topping we need. Python, you could also directly use context menu on your method if you hate writing editor UI code. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. I've not done that before. I've not done that. So you just do this context menu. Oh, does it need some extra stuff to it? Oh, there's not one that takes 0. Item name. Ooh. Finish tea boiling. I've never done this before, Python. Thank you. Am I pronouncing Python correctly? I hope so. I'd hate to mispronounce that. Let's have a look here. Thank you for the top tip. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, down onto here. Oh, so we got tea boiler, more steam. What? Tea boiler, more steam. Oh, I called it more steam because I just that's not what it's called. Finish brewing. That's what it would be called. Right click the component. Oh, ooh. Interesting. So you come in here. Oh, it's reloading. Don't do anything while it's Finish tea boiler. Look at that. Fantastic. Thank you. I learnt a thing today. Super. Now, that for this, I'm gonna take that off for the moment. I love that, but I've built the editor now. I think I'm gonna use that at some point, and it's gonna be brilliant. I can think of other places where it might be useful, but I'm used to having me buttons, you see, for damage repair. I got these ones, but I'm thinking there are certain things I want to do on the with the Steam algorithm that would be really handy. Thank you. Have I tried dipping pizza in baked beans? That's interesting. Now, interestingly, when I were young and I could have such things, because I can no longer eat baked beans, nor can I eat cheese. My body just doesn't agree with it. But we would quite often have cheese on toast and then baked beans on the side. That was a common thing. So I can totally imagine dipping pizza into baked beans, even though it's a lot of things my body can't handle. It would end me. Python says, yeah, it's a bit hidden. It is a bit hidden, and I think that's fine if it's the kind of thing you do a lot, right? So if it's something you're used to going, oh, right, click, I go in there, but there. If that's a thing you do a lot, it doesn't matter if it's hidden. But for me at the moment, I have to get my head around that one. I like it though, thank you. Cheers, Python. I'm going to be gently pronouncing Python, slightly different. Righty, okay, so I'm going to load in my... Let's test to see if this works. Coming up here. Now, I think it should work, even though even though the boiler's off. Finish brewing. I don't think it has... Oh! I think actually it happened there. So we come over here, finish brewing. There's no stats here. That makes me a bit sad. Oh, is it over? Do you have to have this on? I know how my game works. No, it's not enough. Here we go. I'm going to have to turn the boilers up. This is where I start making them blow up. You watch. Right. So if I come over here, if I go finish brewing. Right. Aha. Okay, cool. So that has finished. There's no obvious way to show that it's finished. So something extra needs to happen on there. I don't know, flashing. This could flash. That's not so difficult to do. And then, wait for this, everyone. This is exciting. Hold on to your hats. We're going to drink the tea. I'm going to take my finger here and I'm going to press E now. There we go. We've drunk the tea. So low effort. But the finished brewing thing does seem to work. So that's cool. Oh, it didn't that time. Ooh, okay, that's nice. Interesting. It didn't on the second one. So now I can pour it. That's fine. That will be enough. So I can go finish the brewing. And now it's going to let me pour. But it didn't update the needle. That might just be a state thing. I'm not too fussed about that. Cool. Okay, so my finish brewing button is fine. Let's commit that before I start getting into the world of doing... Oh, hang on a minute. There might be quite a lot in here that needs committing. Because I added new stuff. Okay. Let's add any assets domain, the player. Can we just get away with everything that's in play? Get state. Well, how's that look? Cool. So we can add that. We don't want to mess with the tea boiler just yet. We want to add the blender. Get a blender. Let's have that. Okay, cool. And the tea boiler, everything else is the new stuff. So this was just the model. We added teacup model to the... This is the thing I did just off stream, but I didn't get a chance to commit it. To the tool. And we're currently on 808. Issue number 808, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. And then let's add our button. And we're going to commit the button. This is the tea boiler Unity. We're just going to call it the editor button. I don't need to say it's Unity. That's obvious. 408. Good stuff. Push it, Dano, and we're done with that. So next thing we need to do is we need to sort out some kind of animation, and for that I'm going to pop over to the tool. Oh, that's the teacup. No, don't open the teacup. Why is it? It never loads the 3D models. Let's see what's going on in chat. Anything? So Python. Let's go with Felix. Okay, now Felix is a tricky name for me to remember for lots of reasons, but I'll do my best. Thank you, Felix. Sam D, dipping. The baked beans belong on the pizza. Well, that's dangerous talk, isn't it? Would they live on the pizza next to, say, the fruit, such as pineapple? I saw someone put kiwi fruit on a pizza once. That was too far. Sam D says it means they're hot too. Yes, that's true. And baked beans should be eaten hot. Never eat them from the can cold, no matter how desperate you are. Please heat them up. Lord of Pizza says that also works, Sam D, but it can get overwhelming if you put too many on. Yeah, they're not dry. They're not a dry substance. Although cheese does form some kind of a layer of sort of waterproofing, as it were. True, needs to go under extra cheese, correct, so they don't try and dry out in the oven. Excellent point. That would work, but surprisingly enough, even though I'm enjoyer of pizza, I don't really like cheese that much. Oh, fair play to you. Sad Cherries, hello! Welcome, welcome. Fruit, you monster. There are people who put fruit on a pizza. Sorry, it's a thing. Yes, Sad Cherries, lovely to see you. Thank you for sharing your art recently. I really enjoyed seeing that. Please do keep on doing so in Discord. It's lovely to see. I like the fact that there are two separate sorts of chat going on here at the moment. We have the quite serious Twitch chat with serious people and serious minds, and then YouTube's just kind of gone a bit sideways, if I'm perfectly honest. It's a little bit, you know, it's just pizza fanatics. Can't help it. Right, this is the tool, and this is the tool in its standard configuration. What we need to do now is, when we look, I think when you actually look at the tea boiler, the tool has got to change from, and that's a thing that I don't do anywhere else, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to have to change from being something that holds pipes and with a big spanner on the end to being teacuppy. And also the whole thing's going to have to rotate, because right now it's kind of fixed. It's actually fixed to the player model. Not sure how easy this is going to be to show you, but it might be wise me just thinking about this for a few minutes before I just jump in and just change everything, which is my usual way. So we come down here and have a look at the player. It is actually, the tool is actually kind of dinky compared to the hilarious bulk of our dear Bean here. And oh yeah, whoa. So I shouldn't really zoom in, otherwise that confuses me later if I forget. So as we can see here, we got this tool, and it's just a 3D model. If we look at what that looks like on the screen, see it looks like it's stuck to the camera, because it kind of is. And I've been putting off doing any animations, because when I come to do the character animations, oh, I've run over it there now. Oh, there we go. When I come to do the character animations, it's going to get a hand. So I'm trying not to do too much animation, otherwise it just will have to get done again. So Felix says, so the character actually has no arm, but the tool is stuck into the limb. Grinder accent. Yes. Yes, don't put anything dangly into the grinder. Bad news. Sad Cherry says, oh thanks, tomato is a fruit that goes on pizza. Thank you. The voice of reason, Sad Cherry, thank you. Pete says, yes, but we don't need more fruit on them. A fair comment. I think pineapple isn't too bad, is it? I mean, it's not something I've had in a very long time, so I can't remember. Gosh, watching you code makes me want to write. Super. Sonnet code plays, perhaps? I hope not angry Reddit posts, maybe complaining about me on Discord. I mean, all good things. I'm just glad to inspire you to write. Okay, so what's going to have to happen is that this bit at the top is going to have to disappear, and all of these are going to have to disappear, which, oh, here we go, rebind to that probably. Oh, don't stop the editor. Oh, just rebind a key. Come on, you're better than this, Unity. Just rebinding a key. Or have you crashed? Or have you not crashed? No, I stopped it by accident. Fine. I might have to pause in a moment. Oh yes. I'll be back in a second. I just got to wish a little person night night, so I'll be right back. 1 second. And that was how done. Super. She's very sweet. And an engine of chaos. Cool. So now I've already got this thing. When you want to, if you're putting pipes down like that, then you've got, this is your standard pipe selection mode. But if you click the right mouse button, then you can go to delete mode and you can take away pipes. Put them back and delete them. I'm doing this as wondering if I've broken any of this. So I already have this thing where for delete mode, all the pipes get kind of hidden around the back of the tool, but not particularly well. So I can use that for all of those segments for when we go to tea drinking. So what I want to do is when it comes over to here, if it's brewed, as soon as as soon as you kind of hover over it, not only do I want there to be the tooltip, I want the whole thing to rotate down and turn so the cup is kind of close. The cup might have to be larger. Eventually I'll have it all kind of folding out and animating and stuff, but not at the moment. I'm just going to swap them over. That would be some considerable feature creep. Now, the first thing I'm probably going to have to do with this is change the hierarchy of it all, because there's no animator on all of this, believe it or not. All of these discs are animated using probably not even tweens, because it wasn't using tweens when I created this. So do local. Oh, I am using tweening. Oh, look at me, I updated it. Yes. Melaneth, welcome, welcome. Yay, laying pipe. Welcome on board. Yes, I lay quite a lot of pipe here. It's all about lay. I like to lay pipe in 3 dimensions. Originally, back in the day, when I started off doing my YouTube devlogs, the introduction started with you lay pipes to power machines with steam. And my friends, I call them friends, but they're sort of friends, they thought this was hilarious. So I kept saying it for some time, but then I ended up changing it because it was distracting. Peter, that wasn't the plan, but since you seem to desire an angry post, then you shall get one. Please do. I love a good rant. I love an unnecessary pizza-based rant. Jump on. Yeah, welcome on board. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and reuse some of the code. But the first thing we need to do, oh good lord, there's so many bits. What would be first? I think all of this stuff, I need an animator here on the top, probably, because I need it to animate nicely. Now I could do that with a tween and rotate it, but then I'm going to want to, it's going to need an animator at some point, which is great because I'm terrible at animating things. So all of this stuff that's below, right, okay, so the tool, if I was, let's just have a quick play. How would I do this if I was just moving it? Let's try that. I'm going to have to select the player though. I'm going to go to the slightly terrifying 2-screen mode. Okay, so now if we come in here, open up the hierarchy and let's grab, stop moving, and let's grab the player. These fire sprites are all, are they actually inside the Clomper? They are inside the Clomper, fair enough. The scrapper's in the wrong place, never mind. That can wait for another day. So the camera, the right hand, the tool. So if I was going to move this tool, this is what it needs to be. Needs to be not vertical screen size. There we go. Because the game does work if you've got ultra wide. It's a bit odd, but it does work. I have ultra wide playtesters. They will have feedback. I will not avoid it. Anyway, let's imagine that I was just sort of rotating this. Ooh, not that way. That is the wrong way. So it would have to rotate probably this way, and then rotate that. You know, this kind of thing would be all right. If you imagine you've got the cup, the teacup here. The teacup's on. The spanner's not on. And switch those around. So this is sort of gonna rotate like this, but in a smooth motion. Trust me. Oh, I'm gonna gimbal lock. So there we go. This is a little bit like one of those games where you're asked to try and feed someone, and the controls are really janky. So the spoon's like all over the place, which is what it's like to feed a toddler. You're trying to feed them without actually wearing any of it. So I'm gimbal locking like bananas here. There we go. And it'll be a bit like, have the tea. Virgin, have the tea. This is the cup on the end. Right, this is the cup. So I think if I put an animator on here, it would be fine to animate this transform as well as all the stuff that's underneath it. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think, chat? Anyone have any idea what's going on? Has anyone got a plot? I think my game is terrible ultra wide. You made your own engine, Lewis. I should probably think that through. Only if you think you're going to have a lot of very widescreen monitor people playing it. Otherwise, just get it out. Just get it in the hands of people, my friend. Please. It's very nice to see you're thinking about that. How about vertical display? Yeah, it would work. I've just not got it set up. So it could work that way, but it's not a priority right now. So ultra wide is because my playtesters, my friends have ultra wide, so they'll just keep raising bugs until I fix it. That's what they like. Pizza says, what if I want to play this game on a display smaller than my pinky? That's a very interesting question, Pizza. What if you could? What if you could? Why not smaller? Why stop there? Why not? I mean, I can't think of another appendage you possibly play a game on that's smaller than that. But still, I think there might be gimbal lock here issues. So that might be. I need to make sure I work out which that's the correct axis, and then that's probably the correct axis, and then I might need another axis here. So no, that should probably just those two, X and Z. That should do it. So do that. It might need to come up. No. Oh, this all the scale is quite small, so I've got to be a bit careful. Oh, hello. Oh, it's local. So it's going to have to come up and to the side a little bit because the hand is tilted. That's fine. I made the hand tilted. I have regrets. Right, that's the wrong way. So that's better. That's better. And then probably minus 0.1. So the 0.1. There we go. So that kind of thing. I'm just going to do it cheat. Just going to screenshot that. Well, did that actually screenshot it, or has? Don't. Oh, I wonder if the OBS layer is causing difficulties. Yeah, there we go. So that's roughly the numbers that we need ish when we come to do the animator. I'll keep that to one side. Screenshotting tool in Windows is pretty cool. It's Control Shift F, Windows Shift S. Is that right? Yeah. Windows Shift S. You can do videos as well. It'll make MP4s. It's pretty cool, and it also save into your pictures folder. So if you accidentally lose it, it's always saved. Python, dear Felix, you should make that a mini game. Ah, what? Trying to get the tea into your face. Which is what if you were to drink alcohol before drinking tea, then it would be a mini game of trying to steer the mug into one's face. The tool looks like an ice cream scooper. It really does. Yeah, all coffee in tea cups should look like an ice cream scooper. Pizza. That's how things work. Hang on a minute. I've just had a thought. I've just had a thought. This might not work. Uh-oh. What if I can balance? Because this has a hit. Does this have a hitbox? Oh, it may not have a hitbox. Oh, that would have it would be cool. If I could scoop up a fire sprite. That's not happening. That would be if I go scoop, like Bernie here. Come on, scoop up a fire. That would be completely unnecessary. Because you can pick them up anyway. I mean, you can go over and pick them up and go, hello. Right, see if I can get him into the chair. I've got pretty good at this. Hello, Bernie. Right, here we go. Oh, he's in the chair. And he'll stay there. Small shader issue I've got with him at the moment. But I'll come back to that. I'm not scooping. Thank you, Felix. That's grand, yeah. That was amazing. But yeah, I like the idea of being able to scoop him up. I think the cup needs to be larger. I won't fix that now because that means opening Blender, and I'm not sure my machine will quite handle Blender as well as everything else. I can come back to that. That's fine. I've got the scales slightly lopsided, but that's okay. That's fixable. Okay, let's come out of the game. Let's start putting in some animation nonsense. What did I click on? The body of the Clomper? No. That's not right. Right, we'll come back into the tool. Hello, tool. These editor windows, I'm forever docking and redocking them. I normally only use one at a time though, weirdly. So what we're going to do is what we could do is do the hiding stuff first. No, I'm going to make the tool make events on the animator, maybe. Okay, let's just add some. Fortune favours the bold. Where is it going to put it? It's going to put it in the right place probably. Cool. Let's put an animator on there. Now, it doesn't have to be a network animator. The difference being is that network animations would be synchronized between the client, because Clomper is multiplayer, and the server, or rather the server and the clients. That's not really necessary. A player goes over to drink something, it's only them that really get to see the animation. Give him a teacup too, says Felix. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. Actually, giving the fire sprites teacups. So when you're brewing tea, they're all jumping around with their teacups, as if they're allowed to have tea from the sacred tea boiler. Righty, so I'm going to need a new animation controller. Why doesn't it just let me make one like that? That's very odd. And where has it put it? Oh, okay, it hasn't put it anywhere, so I need a new animation controller. Create animation controller. And this would be called... Now this at the moment it's only doing T stuff, but it's going to end up doing all the tool animations eventually, I believe. Fine, that's probably okay. I don't need to animate physics, I don't need to apply any root motion, it's not that complicated. Cool. So we come into the entry state, so far nothing happens. So we're going to have some kind of, I'm going to keep the state simple, keep it simple stupid. So the first one I want, I'm going to need some sort of parameter, and it's going to be kind of, are you drinking tea or are you not drinking tea? Okay. Might have to do a bit more. So there's drinking tea, there's preparing to drink tea. Prepare to drink tea. It's a bit like out of Spaceballs, isn't it? Prepared to drink tea, preparing to drink tea, sir. Prepared to drink tea. So there's the preparing of the drinking of the tea, as we all do, obviously. And then there's the actual animation to do with the act of drinking tea. Right, perfect. Okay, so if you're walking over to it, then that's going to be triggered. That's cool. So, oh yeah, now I did this wrong last time. If I open up the animator window, last time I was doing an animation, I got this wrong in that I put all the nodes on the graph and then I made the animations for it. But of course, making the animations puts more nodes on the graph, which is kind of the wrong way round. What's my favourite tea? Well, as an Englishman, one should say black tea. The standard, probably grown in India, sold under the banner of Yorkshire tea for reasons. But yes, that is like the standard Englishman tea. But caffeine, yeah, I'm not. The caffeine isn't so good for me. So I have lemon tea. So this is lemon tea that I'm drinking at the moment. It's kind of, it would be Ponzi if it wasn't the cheapest lemon tea available. So it's very cheap, and it's a little bit of ginger, which of course one must have. And so that's the thing. What's yours? What's everyone's favourite tea, chat? Let's put it in the chat. Let's find out. Python, Felix, you've gone with Earl Grey hot. Well, of course you have. Of course, I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm sure you take your inspiration for the finest starship captains. All right, so this is going to be an animation that's going to go, which is going to be prepare to drink. I love the fact that you can name things. So, oh no, this is entry. No, no, that's not the entry state. The entry state needs, no, that's wrong. We're going to make a new one. The entry state has got to be holding. This is not told. It's about. Oh, have I got better names for this already in the code? I might have good names for this in the code. And also, I need to get rid of some of this nonsense because we don't care about that. So, what do we call it when we're in the mode of create? We call it create. Ooh, repair. That shouldn't still be in there. Okay, create. Well, okay. Okay. Create. Well, it's kind of a pipe create mode, isn't it? Yeah. Pipe create is the standard. And really, that does need to be the... Not that one. Naughty. No. Go away. Oh, easy, Tiger. What have you done there? Right. Okay, so the pipe create is the most boring one. And it needs to have the transform, position rotation. I don't mess with scale. And the rotation, and that's fine. And it's just going to be that. It doesn't even need two lots. It's just going to just be like that. Ah, 1-1. Hello, welcome on board. Bigelow calm stomach tea. Ooh, Yogi Egyptian licorice. Fantastic. Very fancy schmancy there, 1-1. Lovely to see you. Hope you're doing well, dear boy. Hope all's well with you. Peter, mine's either Earl Grey or Bengal spice. Crumbs, is anyone just going to say black tea or English breakfast? 1-1 or pine needle tea. Oh, there are just too many good ones. All right. I don't feel quite as out of place anymore. I've just been busy. Otherwise, I've been talking small. Oh, no, you're always welcome, sir. I know it's a tea chat. Just you can't hold back from the tea chat. I understand. Everyone loves a bit of tea chat. So we've got pipe crate, and that's going to be the entry one. Now I'm not very good at animators, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test it, even though I've not really done anything yet. Where on earth is it gone? Where's Unity? Oh, I'm in Unity. Oh dear, it's not late, honest. So hopefully nothing has gone wrong and it's just going to come into this animator. I think I need to set the exit time to 0 because it's just like a state rather than... Yeah, good. So the tool is in the right place. The tool hasn't moved here over on the right hand side, and that still works. That's good. So what's the animator doing? Hopefully it's not going to do anything too bonkers. No, fantastic. Its speed is 1, but it's got... There's no frames in it, so it's not doing anything. Wonderful. Okay, so I've not messed that up. So the next thing to do is to get it to move so it's in front of one's face. And if you're thinking, you know what he's doing. Yeah, that's about right. I go, ooh, I've never tried dragging that onto there to there. So there's going to be some sort of transition going on. And I'm going to use the record mode in the moment because I'm an anarchist. We're not going to do the transition for the Mo. Look at all of this. What? Get out of town. It's fine. Okay, so the prepare to drink tea is going to go from the standard position rotation, the standard unit position rotation, or identity, I think it's sometimes called, and then it's going to rotate. And it's going to rotate round to, I don't know what the timings are going to be. So we got the positions from earlier. Position. This is the tricky thing. It's quite difficult to test this. The reason is that my player is not spawned until the network code is running. So I can't just go and see my player with the tool. I've got the tool prefab here, which is cool, but I can't see it in front of the player. We kind of have to do that when the game is in action. But that's not a problem though. We can work with that. So if I go record over here and I say, right, I want the tool. These are the values I recorded when we were testing just a minute ago. 0.0, and this should be fine for starting. This is going to be one of those things that's going to take a few iterations to get right. I know that's all gone a bit funny on there, but don't worry. It's not flat when it's under normal circumstances. Okay, so it should just go whoop. So, I mean, that's almost rude, isn't it? It's like someone drives past you, they cut you up. Whoop. Right, let's see if that actually works at all. Oh, hang on a minute, we need a transition, otherwise that's not going to work at all. Okay, this is the bit. I think it doesn't need an exit. So this is the bit I really don't understand about animators, so I'm making this up big time. Bigly. I can hear noises in my house. I don't know what they're for. Well, no, it's singing, it's fine. Right, so I don't really need a transition. There's more singing going on. Dear. I think the first one, this does not need a speed, nor does it need any kind of length of time either. So if we come in, but the length of time is 0, fine. So come back over here into pipe create. That's going to do that, and that's going to do when something happens here. So it needs to have a transition. So parameter doesn't exist. Fine, we haven't made one yet. Let's make a parameter. It's going to be a bool, and it's going to be prepare to drink tea. Trying to use similar naming, that way I don't forget stuff. It's false by default, which makes sense. Prepare to drink tea is true, and then it should do that transition, and then it should play that little animation, which goes from its basic level. I mean, you wouldn't do this if you had animations of people walking around. You need it to kind of nicely blend together. I don't need that for this, not necessary. I can be a bit basic. Are you sure your tool isn't just some random Lego figurine's hand? Shh, Peter, you're not supposed to give it away, honestly. Huge sponsorship deal. Felix, have a great evening. Thank you for dropping by. Take care, dear boy. See you soon. Yeah, I'm going to be sponsored by Lego. So if Lego are watching, I'd really like a very big Millennium Falcon and all of the Star Wars sets you can send me. Thank you very much. That'd be very nice. I actually worked for Lego a little bit one summer as an undergraduate. I built Lego robots with the first ever Mindstorms for a whole summer. Yeah, we built extra sensors, ones that you couldn't get, because I worked in the cybernetics department, and we built wonderful little robots that did all sorts of things. I had them fighting and all sorts of stuff. It was good fun. It wasn't particularly good money, but that was okay. You just want free Lego, don't you? Yes. Yes, Lord Pizza, I do. I do want free Lego. Is that even a question? I could buy some Lego. There's not enough room in this house for Lego as well as, people. Right. Okay. So, if I come over here, now I need to make sure I've selected the player and the camera and the right hand. Player's right hand, and then tool, and then I can come into, then go open up the animator. The animator. Is it late? So we're in pipe create mode, which is just looping around there, and then if I do that, okay, it's looping. We don't want it to be looping, and it's sort of right. I mean, it's a little bit. I'm quite impressed that it does remotely what I wanted, even being close. Got bored of Legos almost a decade ago. Oh, it comes back. I have no idea how old you are, Peter, or even whether you're human. I could have been sent here from a completely separate planet. However, I think the joy of Lego comes and goes. So they'll release something and you go, oh, I really like that. And then you end up buying a lot of it. Right, let's stop this lunacy from doing the old looping. We don't want it looping. Looping, beautiful flower, but it's not what we want in this. I can't remember how to stop it from looping. It's something in the animation malarkey over here. Speed, mirror. I mean, mirror quite funny. Right defaults. Is it in this bit? Might be in this bit. I never remember how any of this works. Could be worse. Oh, it's that bit. No, is it that bit? No. Or is it in the actual animation? It'd be weird if it was in the animation. Ah, there it is. Loop time. Gotcha. And we can do the same thing to pipe create, because that doesn't need to loop either. That can just sit there. Most things you probably want it to loop. Maybe mirror, but not this. Wicked. Okay, so that's the first bit. The next bit... the next bit will be... I need to have this work when you hover over. So at the moment I'm just faking it until I make it. I'm just saying, I'll come over here. Where's the player gone? There he is. So go and get the player, and I say right hand, camera, right hand, tool, and then I can go. By the way, you need to. Where's the animator? There we go. And then I come over here and say, right, you're going to do that. There we go. It's not looping anymore. But I want that to happen, not when I've clicked this here button. There's no way for it to come back yet. That's fine. But when I hover over this. Right. But we've made some progress. So we're going to just, before I make everything go sideways. What on earth is all of that nonsense? Fine. Okay, so these are the, we have added animator to the player tool for, and I've forgotten the number already, it's only been 30 seconds, 808, such a good number. Perfect for drums. PC, oh, your species is called human, noted. Well, my species, I'm not sure, generally human is used. Problem is sometimes a friend will ask for help building a Lego set, and I don't really get the time to not be tired out of them. Yeah, I'm with you. It all depends on how large they are, because recently they've come out, well I say recently, probably 5-10 years, they've come out with a whole bunch of little sets that are sort of bite-sized, and you end up with quite a nice looking thing that you're not going to take apart and build into a random spaceship, but you are going to enjoy it as a little car or a little thing to add on your displays. I rather like that idea. It's rather than something that's ultimate collectors and huge. Right, okay. Now this is where we're going to have to change a chunk of code, because I'm pretty sure the hover system, which is also known as the player mode system, doesn't have any events on it. Player mode controller, set default, set. This feels like a hack. Yeah, that's because that is a hack right in there. Yeah, that's a hack. Yeah, I'm not going to fix that though. That's for certain. Okay. So, right. What's going to happen here? Okay. So that's when a mode changes. That's when a mode goes back to normal. So this is interesting. Okay. So, but it should set the keys again. So, okay, This is a lovely, lovely piece of system here. So this is going to be fired, and I'm just going to stick a debug log in here to show that, oh, actually what we'd do is, because I'm not a heathen, we're going to attach to Unity like a limpet. Pizza says bite size. Are they tasty? I wouldn't apply them to a pizza. Not unless you have entirely metal teeth. I mean, you might. Whatever alien race you come from, you might have metal teeth. Not shaming completely metal teeth, but then you'd be alright chomping down. Otherwise, I would not. I'd avoid. Oh, this might do the slightly slow reloading the domain because I've just attached Visual Studio. Or have they improved it? Oh, we're good. Okay. So that's set the player mode in there. That's probably just setting default. Now I have to try and get all the way up here without triggering anything else, which is harder than it looks. Okay, now it's not going to trigger that at the moment. Now I'm going to do that. Oh, okay, now we're attached. I've got all my other breakpoints in. Okay, we're good still. Boop. Okay, it's not going to do that. That's fine. That's expected. Let's just take that and let's go to the tea boiler. Finish the brewing, which is the button we added earlier today. And I scroll up. And then, so I'm going to set the mode. Nope. Nope. Have we hit the code? Nope. Not in the breakpoint. Let's actually close the Steam indicator. We don't care too much. Is it? Oh, it's because it's not on. Okay. If I turn it on, it's going to hit the breakpoint. Okay. Oh, it didn't hit the breakpoint. Why didn't you set the breakpoint? Is it because it's only hovers and we're not setting the mode? Okay, so where does it? Yeah, okay, fair enough. It's only setting the mode when you actually do a thing. It doesn't set the mode when you're just hovering. Fine. Okay, that's fine. So the hovers, set hovers are hovers more than just the default. Oh dear. Okay, hover, pipe into hover, parent with hovers, selectable. Selectable sounds good. Selectable is when it goes set hovers from mode. Oh, okay, that's nice. So that's where it goes and sets all the keys. Those are the things that are down in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. It says things like close valve, this bit down here, close valve. That's a hover, because we're hovering over the top of something. I use the word hover because I've got a web background, and that's what hovers are. Pete says, I mean, when I was a child, I did have metal filling for my teeth, fair enough. I think I used those teeth to poke people when they fell out. Nice. Now we move from lurking to working. Well, AFK lurking. Thank you very much, 1-1. Very much appreciated. Thank you, take care. I'm going to set up shout outs for next time I'm streaming. But my streamer bot ain't done just yet. But go check out 119. Just fantastic. If you like this kind of chill stream, 119 does the same sort of thing but better. It's harsh because it's true. Okay, so this is the bit that sets the hovers. So we don't really want to mess with that particularly. Selectable is a good place because selectable, that's like the options. So this is like on select. Ooh. I have an event in here. What is using this? Oh, okay. So when it's selected, it does stuff. Does it really? This is me not remembering my cylinder select. Oh, okay. Yes, that does make sense. Okay. Well, it looks like I already have some code in here, but I want to make sure that this code is being used for the same reason. Lift handle client. Ah, okay. No, that does make sense. Right. Yeah. Okay. That does make sense because that's going to be, yeah, setting material. So the reason this already has it on here is if I hover over here, you might just see it just goes a little bit brighter. Just goes a bit brighter. That changes the material when it hovers. Well, this is the same kind of thing, but when I hover over this, I want the tool to change. So when the tea boiler, which probably doesn't have selectable yet, which is fine, It must have selectable, otherwise that wouldn't work at all. You wouldn't even get any tooltips. So it must have a selectable. It does have a selectable. Excellent, so it is selectable. Half this code's already written. Well done, previous me. Have a lovely dinner, 1-1. Thank you for coming, it's great to see you. Peter says, I forgot, will there be a model for the player later on? Yes. It won't always be an oval. Some people call it pills, some call it beans. No, it won't always be that. I had to cut it from the demo scope because the animation and so forth would take some time to get right. And I think people get it. They'll be fine. The playtesters will get it. They'll understand. So when we do a closed beta on the Discord and that, everyone knows it's a green bean for now. It's all right. And then what I'll do is I know what the characters will look like. I've just not built them yet. And then I'll do a reveal. Hopefully there'll be an opportunity to have hats and the like. I should think so actually, with the way the design's going to go. So updates. So the selectable, it's not actually used in here, not for anything. Have you considered having the light steam powered, and when it's not powered have some sort of emergency lighting? Oh yes, yes. Actually, the lights do change depending on how much boiler power you put in. So if I put the boilers down and then I get rid of the heat, it hasn't actually got much darker in here, but I will be playing with the saturation so it will look a bit darker. But if I bring the boilers up, if I bring the heat up to 100, then you see it's a lot brighter in here. Just to bring that home, heat's 0, it's kind of cold. The lights could be a bit dimmer. Heat 100, it's all bright and foggy and a bit fuzzy. So that's a way to know that if you're up this end of the boiler, up this end of the clomper, waiting for your tea to boil, and you look round and everything's gone orange, you know that stuff's going to go bang shortly. Not at the moment because they actually have to be, I've just used debug commands, so they're not quite as hot as they could be. But yeah, so there is that, and I do need to make more of that, but not quite yet. That's coming. That's a coming. Right, okay, so it's nice that this thing already has a selectable, but I don't want the tool to know about the selectable on the tea boiler, or do I? I think I'm going to have to, which I'm not a massive fan of, because that feels a bit like I'm leaking information. Okay, let's just start with it. We don't want other things getting hold of the selectable. Do we? Do we? Probably do to start with. Oh, this already feels a bit wrong. But we'll keep going for the moment. Let's do the simplest thing that works. So the selectable will be, and we can set this right at the bottom because it's always going to be there. Thank you, autocomplete. That worked a treat. And now this needs the tool needs to know about, the tool shouldn't really need to know about it, but for the moment it will. It's almost like the teacup. No, we won't go that far. Okay, so we're going to make a new event. We're going to say the Clomper. Ooh, do we have a tea boiler on there? No, we need to get the instance. Tea boiler? No. No, good Lord. Disgraceful. Okay. That's fine. Is the tea boiler on here at all? No? Okay. Fine. Nothing else has needed it until now, so it's not been a problem. Now, Clomper, scrap tank, pipe collection, grabber, stick it up on here. Let's copy this. This is called a lazy loaded property. Tea boiler, tea boiler, tea boiler. Tea boiler, that's tea boiler, T-boiler, T-boiler, starting to lose meaning, this word. T-boiler. Cool, okay. So that T-boiler now, that's the thing that we're going to use over on here. What? I haven't finished typing. And then, oh, that's selectable on selected. And on, see, this is breaking the law of Demeter big time. The law of Demeter, for those who don't know, is a computer science term that says that if you've got an object like this, T-boiler, you shouldn't really be able to reach deep down inside it. You should just be able to go to that level and do things at that level. You shouldn't be able to get on its children, because if you do that, then it means you can't really easily change T-boiler or change selectable without changing T-boiler. So I'm not a massive fan of what I'm doing here now, but it'll be all right for now. On T-boiler selected, it's not a method we have at the moment. It's going to complain. It's fine. And we're also going to have to do a if Clomper dot instance is not isn't null, and this is because the player could be spawned in by the network code before the Clomper is ready, which sounds slightly crazy, but it's actually okay. The models will be there, but all of the other Clomper stuff may not have appeared, so we just need to check to make sure that it's still there, particularly when the game closes. So on T-boiler selected, fantastic. That's a new method we need. Give us a new method. Lovely. I don't want it up here. Don't put it up here. This class has already got too big. Okay, well that's the thing that's going to have to sort out at some point. This is too large. It's now over 300 lines. That's the naughty point. Okay. So on the T-boiler selected, what we want to do is get hold of our animator, which we don't have just yet. Where do we want to put the animator? The animator is really to do with selected, no, select pipe, no, selected, that's all to do with pipe stuff. We don't care about that. We don't want to mess with mode just now, but we will in a moment. Rose discs, rose select, no, we don't want, that's all to do with selecting stuff. I think we're going to come down, these are all just properties, so I think we're going to come inventory position rotation. I think that's all right. Okay, so we're going to come in here and we're going to say we want the animator. We're going to shout animator. We're just going to call it animator because there's only going to be one for a good long while, and we're going to get component animator. I think you mentioned that in the last stream. Oh, thank you, Pizza. Casper, welcome. Hello. Welcome on board. Are you not afraid that you end up spending a very long time on the game and in the end it's not fun to play? That was a concern some time ago, but I had people play it and they did say it was fun. Also, I'm not too fussed because this is a hobby, so as long as I'm having fun building it, which I am, that's the main thing. I'm sure there'll be things about it that aren't fun, and I just need lots of playtesting. I know the core idea is fun. I'm not quite there for full fun yet, that's for certain, but it is a concern. But yeah, I did a video where I explained, where I had my first playtest, and I said to my friends, and although they're friends, they're pretty brutal. I said, given that there are no bugs and everything, is this fun? And then they just went silent and they didn't answer me. I didn't say anything. And I said it could be if you make some changes. So I documented all of that on the old YouTube channel. There's rather a lot of it though, so I appreciate if you've not seen it all. So yeah, there is always a concern though. But if 5 people find it fun, that's okay. I imagine there'll be a few hundred in all the world that will keep it fun, and I'll just keep messing with it until it is. Pizza says that's why you start testing early on. No, and that's right. I absolutely tested early on. So this is getting towards beta testing. I've done a lot of alpha testing. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes making something is even better than actually using the end product. And if it's a hobby, it's not the end product you're spending your time on. You also learn a lot along the way. Absolutely. I wouldn't really do this just for the joy of learning though. I've learned a lot of things, and I want a game that I can play with my friends that I would enjoy. So that's why there's procedural generation. So when the game runs up, quite often it will generate a world and I look at it and I think, good grief, that is appalling. Right, I can't remember how I used the animator to set a property because it's late. Add what? Animate? Animate? I can't type now. But it's a fair question though. Everyone should be thinking, is this fun? And playtest often. There we go. Set bool, I think, is one of mine. Is that an extension? Is that a Unity one? No, it's a Unity one. Okay, so it's not called damage. What did I call it? I called it, where is my, what? Animator, oh there it is. I called it prepare to drink tea. So hopefully that will now just work, or it's going to be a lot of errors, and that will also be funny. As I think learning is half the fun. Yes, I think learning is fun. I just probably wouldn't choose game dev as a thing to learn next if I was going to learn a new thing as a hobby. Lots of other hobbies available, and this one's a lot like all the work I've ever done. So that's it. That's why it feels. It's not like something that's new necessarily. Righty. I was testing this. Oh, I was testing this. Right. So what this should do is, when this is, oh, now it won't go away because I haven't done that. Right. So that sort of is correct. Now, of course, it's preparing to drink tea at a point where there isn't any tea to drink. So that's not quite right, but it is half right. I'm a bit concerned about some of the code I've used to do this though. So right now it's not selectable because it's not, oh, it is a selectable. It's selectable. Oh, okie dokie. Love those pipes on there. That's quite funny. So it is selectable because I'm just looking at it. However, it can't do much because the boiler is off. The tea boiler is off, which is fine. My newest hobby is pixel art. No longer does my attempts at human look like a failed Homer Simpson. I know failed Homer Simpson's got a lot to say for itself, actually. You know, he himself, that would be a fantastic piece of art because he himself, to many, is a failure. I start more projects than I finish because I just want to solve the hard problems and learn new things. And then you're left with actually finishing the game and doing all the boring stuff. Yes, absolutely, Casper. And so many people stop for that same reason. And that's fair enough. That's absolutely fair. You don't have to finish the game if you don't want to. Don't spend your time doing something you don't enjoy. That's just the work of lunacy. So, the tea boiler, is it on? Oh, we need something more. We need something. Look at this problem with being netcode. It's just like thousands of like methods. So what we want on this. Let's close the editor there. The tea boiler. We want to know if it's brewed. Okay. State is what we want. State is that one, which is private. That's fine. We can make a public version of that, which is read only. Which is a read-only bool. The state is brewed. Now what I'm going to do here, rather than just let the kettle state, because I could just use kettle state there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make special properties, so hide away how it's the tea boiler uses that, but only the tea boiler, Cool. So this could actually be private. Cool. So they keep that as internal for as long as humanly possible. So now we can do kettle state is kettle state.brood. Oh, kettle state.brood. Cool. What? What? Oh, fine. There we go. Cool. So if it's in the brood state, then that should be fine. And then the player tool can say is brood. So is it on? Is brood? Do we care if the machine is on? Probably not. If it's not brood, it's going to return. Because we're not going to have any of that nonsense. Now, we also kind of need on T-boiler deselected so that the tool will go back to how it is. So let's get some of this in. Let's put the animator back to false. And it doesn't matter what the state of the T-boiler's in. This now needs to be linked up top. So when it's deselected, Clomper instance T-boiler selectable. See, it's just deselected. It doesn't feel right to me. That feels a bit nasty. What we're gonna do is we're going to just do a jump out at this point, because all the statements below it are really about the Clomper not existing, because it's been disabled long before these events are happening. Cool. So that's functionally the same thing. Lovely. Okay, so that's now on boiler selected and deselected. Cool. Now we need to make the animator actually do something. What we could do is make it just go backwards to start with. That would be cheeky. Let's do that. What am I first? Oh, well, yeah, I've just got the wrong thing selected. That's not okay. So let's pop back into the tool and let's go to that one and let's open up that animator. So we can go back to pipe create on the deselect. So we're no longer preparing to drink tea. That's that one. So we're going to say prepare to drink tea when that's false. That's that one. So we're going to go backwards again. And this one we're going to reuse the same animation, because I'm cheeky like that. And we're just going to go backwards. So I think you can do that by just going -1. So settings, exit time, fixed duration, interruption source. Is it easy enough to go? I've done this before somehow. Did I do it using, maybe what we could do is copy that one. No. Rename and unprepared to drink tea. That is literally a terrible thing to write. Well, we might need another state in here. Okay, we'll just kill that one for the minute. I don't know how to do this. I might have to find out how I did it elsewhere. So now I've done this elsewhere. I just don't remember where. Oh, that animator. We don't want that one really showing up in there. That's a bit naughty. On the player tool, let's keep. Yeah, that's private. That doesn't need to be serialized. That should be, yeah. We don't want animators to be serialized. There's only one, so it can work that out in code. So now I need this animation to play backwards. So that would be kind of right-ish. And it will kind of do something. I think I need another state in there. Let's check out the chat. Pizza says, I think I looked at so many Legos that my mind automatically thinks humans are bright yellow. That's fair enough. There are a number of people who are bright yellow by choice. Casper, if you start saving parts of your projects that you can use in others, you can get farther along in them. That's a good shout. If you've got lots of bits and pieces, they're little systems, they can be joined together. I do still have all my old projects, but most of it's not stuff I'd use in production, because I learned a lot since most not optimized, just thrown together fast. Fair do. Shadowed Soul Studios, welcome, welcome. I'm using netcode for game objects sitting on top of the Steamworks API. I also have access to the standard Unity transport mechanism name. I think it's now just called Unity Transport, and which is the standard that you'd use for, say, LAN parties, if people still do that. But if that's your standard over IP, but really it's Steam is going to be the first networking library that I put in. Others may follow, but frankly there's quite a lot of code just to get Steam working, so yeah, I don't know if I'll be adding any others initially. Well, if you like Casper, you can start making a little utility folder and make things you might like to use. That's a good shout. Then of course rework them later on. We'll end up with spaghetti code real fast. Yes, we've all seen that. I did recently start on a product I really like, so maybe this will be the one I finish. Well, let us know in the Discord, Casper. You know, you're welcome to post. There's a promo channel, and there's usually feedback that goes on. Oh yes, what's it about? Tell us more. If you want to pop any links in the chat, you're welcome to do so. Oof, NGO, liking it so far? Well, yes. I've tried Mirror, Photon Pun 2. I had a quick dabble with Fishnet, and I had, there was one other I tried as well. I can't remember the name of the other one. That's going to annoy me. But yes, I've tried a whole bunch. I've also, in my working life, I've written very low level telnet code. So I'm not scared of it. But I really like NGO. It works very nicely. And Steam is painful to get working in general. Absolutely. The documentation was not bad, but you have to set up your game so it's like ready for Steam. It's not in any stretch of the imagination plug and play. You have to do some work. I think Unity know this, and I think they're working on making it a little bit easier for people to get started. There weren't very many good examples when I came to implement it, but it will come. I think Unity aren't that keen because they'd rather like you to use their relay service, which I understand. Okay, so the tea is not brewed, so we shouldn't be moving the tool. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to pretend that we've waited for 5 minutes for the steam to brew. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Tea boiler. I've got to move all this scrap into the right place because that's not okay. It's slowing me down. Slowing me down is not okay. So that's now finished brewing. Might have to turn it on. Oh, it's not quite on. Let's make the boilers more powerful. There we go. Now it's on. Now we're going to come over here. I'm not going to sit, but I'm going to pour. But I don't want to pour just yet. I want to go and do something else. Oh, it comes back. Whee! It goes back. I quite like the snapback. I will eventually... Yeah, the exit time is a bit distressing, but we can fiddle with that. But that's the general idea. You go all, and I can press E, and then the next animation will be that the kettle will come out and then pour into the cup and then go back. Yeah, clever, eh? Fantastic. Casper, it's still very fresh and kind of hard to explain in short term. Sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger. Well, do share when you can. And Discord, if I'm not online, is a perfect place because much of us are in there. Perfectly fine, Casper. I was just curious. Oh yeah, and it gives us all joy to know that other game devs are doing stuff. Ooh, did that do something a bit funny? Oh yes, because you can actually be quite a long way. That's like walking up to the boiler going, "Give me tea." No, it's gone away. Whoop. Yeah, so I want it to be. I think that the animation's a little bit on the slow, but it's partly there. It's partly. I've got a lot further this evening than I was expecting. Given I don't remember how to do half of this stuff, I've got a lot further. Okay, so I think having this exit time malarkey is probably not what we want. We want it to just start doing it immediately. Exit, fixed duration, probably transition duration. That's how fast that it snaps back into the upright position. That'll be fine for now. I do have to change these in the future, so I'm not too fussed. Why is the duration set that long? Oh, transition duration. No, it's the transition duration. So yes, that's that one. Why is it so long? Is it set on here? No, that doesn't have a loop time. So why is it so long? That's a bit, stuff like this I don't quite get. Why is it speed? Speed 1. That's fine. It doesn't have any kind of speed on there. So, oh, interruption source. Oh, we're not getting messing with that. Exit time. Does it have an exit time? Exit times what? 1? No. Oh, no, we don't want that. Okay. So it doesn't have an exit time. So that's the same as setting it to 0, which is fine. Okay, let's just give that a quick test. I think that's probably right. Okay. Casper asks the deadly question. What is the point of the T? Don't know if that sounds rude. It's not. It's fair. But I mean, is it just for fun? Or does it give a buff or something? Pizza suggests. I think they said it's for buffs. Or because they wanted it. It serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Don't tell anyone. But there's no point in making the tea. As yet, it does nothing. It does nothing except it's really hard to link it up. If I start the game afresh like this and I'm putting all my pipes in and I'm linking everything up and I'm getting everything sorted, I'm coming in here and I'm putting all these things in here and I'm getting everything sorted out, you'll find that you run out of resources before you can link this up. So your choice will be unlink some of this important stuff to make a cup of tea, which to me is a hilarious choice because it doesn't do anything. Or you can wander around the environment and pick up some more scrap so you can link it up. It's like, it's there for the fun of it. And then if I just cheat some stuff in, which is all I've done this evening is cheat stuff in. Once you get your boiler in, and you set the boilers to something so they can actually steam, and it's sitting there, you can have a nice sit down. And you look at your pipes and you think, isn't that nice? And if you wish, you can then find a friend. There'll be there he is. What are you doing down in the pit? Come on. So you can come over here after a long afternoon of clomping. You pop him down. There he goes. Isn't that nice? You alright? He's having a look round. And you can sit and enjoy the view. Give me an excuse for music. That's a wonderful point. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I'm just making a note. I'll add the menu music when you sit down. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks, pizza. Oh, gosh, I feel like the turntable should be there also, you know. Yes, possibly. Yeah, some sort of record play. Yes. I'll give it a thought. That's such a great idea. That would be feature creep on something of an epic scale. So you sit there and the fire sprite thing. Yeah, he's lovely, isn't it? Actually, that one there is called Bernie. They're probably all gonna get names. I think I'm gonna do that on the stream one night. He's not alone. He's got friends, and they're in this. There are 10 of them in each of these boilers. They like it in there. It's not a prison. They like it. They love it. They love bouncing around and making heat. Yeah, they're very, very happy in there. And if you get things badly wrong, they all leave. And I'm surprised I've not blown up the Clomper yet this evening, because it normally happens. But this is the whole point. Good feature creep. Yes, thank you. It's all feature creep is good feature creep. Plus, wasn't the T feature creep in the first place? Curse you for watching my videos, Titan. How dare you watch my videos? Yes, it was feature creep. It's completely unnecessary. It was raised as a bug by my primary player. He raised it as a bug. So, yeah. So this is working at the moment because there's no T, so the animation doesn't play, which is nice. I'm trying to get off the topic of me putting one bit of feature creep in and not another. So now I've pretended that the brewing is finished, and I appreciate that the dial should do something better than this because it's not obvious that it's finished. But now you can go up and pour. No, you can, and then this is a bit mean actually, because if you were, once I finished the animations, you'd be sitting there drinking tea. Bernie looks really annoyed with me because he doesn't have a cup. He's just like, you know, fine, drink your tea then. See if I get. You haven't made me one, have you? Wow. There being no turntable also bug then. When we go into private beta testing pizza, you're welcome to raise that. I would be delighted to triage that one. So that's sort of kind of working. Now it snaps back a bit. I like the idea. It's a bit slow. It's ever so slightly too slow. We can fix that nicely enough. Don't look at me like that. You're gonna. Fine. Don't talk to me then. No, yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you want a cup of tea? No, fine. You don't want a cup of tea. You sure you don't want a cup of tea? Don't look so sad. Honestly, fire sprites. You just can't. You can't live with them. You can't live with them. That's what I find. Let's get some of the others out for a laugh. So, if you're not managing the heat properly, like I'm not doing right now, it all builds up. It gets a bit hectic, and things start going bang. You'll see all the colours and the fog going a bit orange. Gets a bit angry. Oh yeah, that's quite angry, that one. That's right up in the heat now. So if you look at the heat dial over here, all of them are climbing up. They're not climbing up as much as I'd expect. Is it because we're turning? It's because we're turning. That would be a bad thing. Or were we driving? We were driving at a wall. Fine. And then the heat builds up, and then when it sits there for too long, it will go bang, probably. But it sort of does things semi-randomly after a while. So I jump, and then they all get freed. There's the first one. Here they come. Oh, we will, if I remember anyways. Yeah, you won't be the first. Good Lord. Don't think he wants tea. Don't think it will end well. Tea plus something that's made entirely out of fire? I don't know. Could be. Could be alright. Casper, you saying that the Elemental movie that came out recently was a lie? I've not seen it. I really should. Was it good? Did you enjoy it? But you got loads of these dudes now. And then if you've gone catastrophically wrong like I've done here, you then have to fix all up your boilers. And yes, that was borrowed from Helldivers, but the first one, not the second one. And then you pop them back in. Some of them will jump back in if they're nearby. Whoop! But you keep popping them up and you fill up your boilers again. And I'm so glad I put that feature in, even if I'm not very good at throwing them. Because it's a lot of fun, especially if they end up, if you leave it for a couple of minutes and they all end up all over the place. I mean, look, this one's come all the way down here. What are you doing over here? Whoop. That's why I think I want them to have names. So if you hover over them for long enough, then they have a name. And if you pick them up, you see the name. Oh, and you can pet them as well. So if you press E, then they pet you. They love that. They love a tickle. It doesn't play any noises yet when there's lots of sound missing. That's the thing that's going to come for demo. Right, so we're going to increase the speed of that first animation just a smidge. I'm just so amazed that I've got this far tonight. It was on the tool. Yeah. Casper, you're saying the whole Clomper should start shaking. Now, that's a fair shout. I had some feedback. I did actually have it doing that. But the problem with it is that if you're even slightly motion sickness, any kind of movement of the whole level, because there's no kind of outside viewports, there's no windows on purpose, because it's a hellscape. Because there's nothing frame of reference for you, it's not good for nausea. So I took it away for the moment. I may put back some more shaking and bouncing for when the Clomper's moving, and then have it on a switch so you can turn it off. For the moment I'm going to leave it off because I'm not sure how to make it so it doesn't cause nausea. So 4 out of 5 I would say. Yeah, fair enough. Seems cute, so I watched it. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out. I've not seen it. It's the sort of thing I might watch with my daughter if it's you like the movie. Oh, thanks Casper, thanks for the movie tips. I'm always up for movie tips. I know it's an internal damage, but will the Clomper have external damage? Yes, it has already, except I don't talk about it much. It's actually this thing here, if we get a bit closer, this thing here is the external damage. And it does kind of work, but I've not made much of the feature. So when stuff gets damaged, and I can show this easily enough, there are two kinds of things that get damaged. There's the stations themselves, that's like the legs and the boilers and all of the map and that. And then there's these bits of infrastructure here. And if I do, can I do damage all? Does that still work? Yeah, that still works. So you see that a lot of this stuff has got damaged. There's the con's gone very wrong. And then you've got this thing I'm walking on here is a bit of infrastructure. Well, the infrastructure is, if you were to break all of them, see that one there is broken, this one here is fine, that one's fine. But if you were to break them all, then the Clomper will kind of reset at that point. You have just completely broken it. I don't really like this mechanic, which is why I haven't dwelled on it at all. I mean, these things do get repaired, but really what I'd like to do in the future is have these kind of infrastructural things you can't fix yourself inside. You have to go to a place to get them fixed up. So you then have to go find yourself a repair shop to get these fixed up. But that means adding something to the world generation, and I'm leaving the world generation alone at the moment. It's in the plan, so it's not feature creep, that will come. But for the moment, so I've got this rather awkward thing that everyone thinks is a light, but it's not really. But I'm quite happy for people to think it's a light, because it's not really useful. The other reason it's not useful is that you can't see if it's working. You can't see what the amount of damage is if the con is broken and it's not linked up. So when it's off, you can't see how much damage it is. So it's kind of meaningless. But I'm leaving it there for the minute. Yeah, we'll come back to that. I don't think it's a big issue. Casper says, yeah, maybe just have it as an option, maybe off by default. Yeah, this is to do with jiggling about. But I do think it'd be pretty cool, at least, when all of them are about to blow. I would imagine the whole thing's shaking. Yeah, absolutely, that's quite reasonable. How will you repair the external damage? Yeah, as I said, walking up to a place. And then once you step in there, then it will get repaired. I don't think it's going to cost any scrap. I think you just have to get to it, because that will be the difficult thing. If there's too much damage, the whole thing should just explode and it's game over. Yeah, game over. At the moment, I'm resetting the Clomper. If you walk into a crevasse, then so if I go and have a look at the photo, I'm still in the game. So if you were to drive off into one of these big dark holes here, one of these down in here, then it just resets. It breaks a lot of stuff and it resets. That's kind of dying. When there's more of a full game loop rather than more of a tech demo, then we'll look at what constitutes an end of game and whether people want to play this as a roguelike, which I don't think it quite fits as a roguelike. But I keep reading descriptions of roguelikes and oh god, that's horrible. Yeah, I keep reading descriptions of roguelikes and it almost fits. There's an example of a horrible piece of generation here. Look, we've got this roller conveyor belt here that leads straight onto a ramp. So if you're not watching carefully, you could end up walking sideways along here and then half walking up the side of this ramp and then into a wall. That is truly nasty. I've resisted the urge of putting roller conveyors up ramps, because it makes them difficult to come back down again, and that's already quite hard. But anyway, so yeah, that's about damage and reset. So for the moment, I'm keeping it light because really that should be more of a world interaction thing. Oh, is that an arrows thing, Nifty? Yes, yeah. So yeah, it's this is just horrible. That's roller conveyors are the worst. That's not the worst kind of roller conveyor though. Let's see if I can find the worst kind. Why is it not locked on? Oh, here we go. I've got it set to follow and look. There we go. So you can use this debug camera to fly about, or photo mode, depending on your point of view. It's not the Unity camera. Sometimes you get a roller conveyor that goes off into a crevasse, and that is well, there's one over there. These are the worst, most devious things I've ever done. So if you're not paying attention to where you're clomping, and you end up on one of these, it will roll you straight off over the edge. And I've done it more than once by accident. So it is. Oh, there are two. There's one over there as well. Oh, that's criminal. I need to increase the speed of the camera as well. 610 is not enough. There we go. That's horrible. Yeah, that's evil. Right, okay. Let's pop back in and check the speed. That animation speed is what we were working on. So if we come into the tool, I'm probably going to do this and then call it a night for this evening, because I've got work and stuff. So pipe crate, prepare to drink tea. Want it to be a bit quicker than that, and we'll make it half as fast. It was a bit ponderous before. Let's just see what that looks like. Chug, chug, chug. Come on, you don't have to do all of that. I just move some points. Alrighty. Let's load that. There's this pipe network that I have as default is really not a good one. It's not efficient. I'm sure there are people who will make much better ones than this. It's just the first one that I came up with. Right. Okay, so okay, that's not on because the boilers aren't feeding enough power. It should be now. So why isn't that on? Did I write that correctly? Boiler 10. What's eating all the power? We're not driving, are we? No, we're not. Why is that now not working? What? What? Whoa. What's eating on? Is my boiler command? All the boilers are set to 10. What is eating the power? That's not eating any power. Let's turn that off. It's definitely not eating power. It's not eating enough. Ooh, I might have ruined something. Oh, now it's got enough power. There might be something funny going on with the Steam algorithm. Oh, is it because it was just brewed? Ah, that might be it. That might be it. Okay, that might be me pressing buttons in the IDE that caused the bug. Okay, so there we go. It's a bit more ponderous, but that'll do me. Right, so the next thing to do next time will be to make the cup here appear. I think it needs to move sideways a bit. It's a little bit too in front. It needs to be more in the middle. Just double check, see if that's... Yeah, it looks... That'll be fine on an ultra wide screen. There's a field of view thing, but because this is a 3D object hovering in space, I just need to make sure it's in a sensible place for people playing widescreen. It's like the same with the UI. The UI's got to stick in the left-hand corner no matter how wide your widescreen is. So the cup will appear, and then this has got to either fly over and then get poured, or just magically appear and then pour. And then I have to make some tea type shadery thing, I think. So yeah, I think that'll do us. That'll do us for this evening. Casper says, I guess that you don't have windows and stuff. No, we don't. And because then you don't have to model the whole world. But it could be pretty cool if there were cracks in the shell where there were lots of damage. Right, yes. So cracks and stuff are coming. Oh, this is all going to go bang if I'm not careful. 30. Or has it already gone bang? Oh, something has gone very bang. Ooh, interesting. That's a handle message. Oh, that's a bug. Has it broken? Ooh, that's strange. Okay. So that is actually something that's gone a bit sideways. There is a periscope, so you can see outside. So I will be making the world look nicer, just not for the beta test. The beta test needs to have the minimum number of features. I'm just concentrating on laying pipes, doing the basics, clomping around, scrap loading stuff. Because if I load this in, pop over here, turn on the periscope, up it comes, and I have a look outside. You can look around. You can't see very far. The map sees further, but you can get a sense of what's around you. You can find these little items of scrap and your quest items and things. So yeah, you can certainly do that. But yeah, no windows, partly because it's hellscape, but also the periscope is the reason that is the way that you look outside. It's kind of like a submarine vibe that way. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to call it there because I am pooped. So those of you watching on Twitch, we're going to raid someone. That's the word I was looking for. Sadly can't do that on YouTube, but I bid you good night anyway. Let's go to the people that I follow because there's a whole bunch. Setelix is on because of course he is. Setelix is a fantastic game dev. He doesn't look like he's he's working on it at the moment. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, let's go to Setelix. So thank you very much everyone for coming on. Thanks for all the feedback in YouTube and in Twitch. It's been great to have you on board. And I shall see you on the next one. I need to start doing the next devlog as well, so watch out for YouTube on that one. If you think this is cool, stick a wish list and join the Discord. Let's try this to see if this still works. Yay! And jump on the Discord. This is almost working. I have a bot and everything. Super. And so yeah, that's come across on the YouTube, but oh yes, I did that wrong. Still, jump on, have a look at the, go and find Clomper over on Steam, and yeah, thanks very much. For those of you on Twitch, we're gonna be raiding. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye now.